second graders, we are going to be talking about Harry the Dirty Dog. So as I kind of lead this discussion, your teachers can pause the video and you can talk about some ideas and some answers and have a little discussion as we go along. So just pause me whenever you need to. So the first thing I want to look at is this chart. We have characters, setting, problem, and solution. So we talked earlier about the characters being the people, things, or animals in a story that have something happen to them. So who is the main character, the most important character in this story? Awesome. Harry the Dirty Dog is the most important character, isn't it? So now let's think about, were there other characters in the story that came along with Harry and did things with Harry? There sure are. Why don't you name a few of those? All right, so if we have other characters and Harry is the main character, we want to think about Harry. And did Harry change from the beginning of the story to the end of the story? You know, I remember at the beginning of the story, Harry did not want to take a bath, did he? But what happened? What did he realize? At the end of the story, did he think taking a bath was such a bad idea? No, he thought it was a good idea, didn't he? So, from the beginning to the end, our characters change. And I remember when I read Invisible Boy, our character Brian changed from the beginning when he was really sad to the end when he had made friends and he was happy and he didn't feel invisible anymore. So characters change in a story, don't they? Now the other thing I want to think about then is the setting. Where does this story take place? Did it happen long, long ago? Way back in history? Did it take place kind of like in the present time? Or is it something that's happening way off in the future? Yeah, it's happening right now. We call right now the present. Things that would be around the year 2021 would be the present day. Okay, so I didn't see anything that made me think that it was back in the olden days, and I didn't see anything that made me think it was back in, or it was going to be in the future. Now we talked about the setting being when. Did it happen like in the winter or the summer? But then we also talked about setting being the place. So what is the place that this story happened? And there might be more than one place. So go ahead and pause me for a discussion about all the places, all of the parts of the setting that we still have to identify. All right, welcome back. Now the next part that we're going to be talking about as we talk about all of these story elements, the things that make up a fiction story, is the problem and the solution. So in a fiction story, our characters have a problem. Sometimes there is more than one problem in a book, but usually there's one problem that kind of goes throughout the whole story. So in this story, I want you to think about what problem did our main character have, and then what was the solution to that problem? How was that problem solved? Go ahead and have a class discussion, and then I'll come back and share my ideas. All right, well, welcome back. For the problem, I thought that Harry's big problem was that he did not want a bath. So if Harry's problem throughout the whole story was that he didn't want a bath, did that problem get solved in the end? It did, because he realized at the end that he needed a bath, and taking a bath would not be such a bad thing after all. His family didn't even recognize him when he was so dirty, did they? So Harry realized that taking a bath wasn't such a bad idea. And all of the other little things that happened in that story, there might be other little problems. Those are all problems, and they were solved too. But the storyline, the whole thing was about Harry not wanting to take a bath, and then at the end, he finally did. So whenever we're reading a fiction story, we want to think about the characters and what they do. Who are they? How they change over time? We want to think about the setting and how that makes such a difference in the story. We want to talk about the problem, and we want to talk about the solution and how they solved that problem.